16-second sequence of the completed animation is designed to help you decide if our demonstration is likely to be of interest. If it is, please stay with us. To animate the construction of the Clifton Suspension Bridge, we need a video editor such as Sony Vegas and a still image editor like Photoplus. Any editor will do the job, we just happen to have these. We first need a picture of the completed bridge, and we have taken this image from our original video. In the end, we will have 4 images, so save this, the final image, as number 4. Now select the clone tool to remove the bridge span. The large areas are quite easy to replace with sky. Once the span is removed, save this as number 3. The right-hand abutment is next to go. Again, we use the clone tool, but here more care is needed as we have to not only use the sky as a replacement, which is easy, but also build up the trees. Save this as number 2. Lastly, we repeat the exercise with the left-hand abutment, saving this, yes you guessed it, as number 1. The last thing to do is review the 4 images. Image 1 shows the Avon Gorge without any sign of the bridge, whilst 2 has the left-hand abutment and 3 the right. Image 4 completes the sequence showing the completed bridge. We now open the video software where we have already imported the 4 still images. The first step is to select images 1 and 2 and drag them to the timeline. The length of each clip is preset to 20 seconds. The time is not critical, but does provide us with enough footage to create a 15-second crossfade. Select the Transition tab and locate Linear Wipes. From the options available, we use the bottom-up hard edge, which we drag into the crossfade. Test the effect by running the transition. Don't worry about the delay, that will be sorted later. However, like magic, the abutment does rise as if being built. That seemed to work all right, so we can easily repeat the exercise with a right-hand building. The last sequence is creation of the span. For this, we'll use a straightforward crossfade. This only requires us to drag images 3 and 4 to the timeline and create an overlap of between 7 and 10 seconds. Again, this is a ballpark figure for what we are trying to achieve. Remaining in video editing mode, we render the complete sequence without the voiceover. Import the rendered video clip and the voiceover and place both onto the timeline. We have to cut the transitions so that they mirror the narrative. The first thing is to decide on a critical phrase. We decided that at the point where the narrator says, "When the Institute of Civil Engineers," the bridge span should fade in. With the video and voiceover synchronized at that point, we trim the rendered clip just before the bridge starts to fade in. The abutment animation needs to complete a few seconds before the bridge starts to fade in. To achieve this, we cut the clip just after the abutment sequence ends, then join the two together. We go now to the other end of the right abutment and cut just before the animation commences. This is in preparation for the left-hand sequence to be trimmed and added in the same way. We trim after the left-hand animation, as we did with the right-hand side, and join it to the sequence. The result should be smooth and synchronized. He wanted never to see the completion of his beloved bridge. Having built only the supporting piers, the trustees ran out of money and work stopped. It was not finished until after his death, when the Institute of Civil Engineers completed the iconic Clifton Suspension Bridge and dedicated it to his memory. Our last issue is that the viewer does not know where to look and may not focus on the images of the bridge being built. So we decided to use a spotlight effect to draw them to the attention of the audience. To do this, we first place a rendered copy of the complete sequence on the timeline and add the keyframe composite fader. This will enable us to reduce the image intensity. We copy the original image onto a second timeline with a cut between the two abutment animations. To create the spotlights in Sony Vegas, we can use the cookie cutter found in the Video Effects tab. By adjusting the composite fader, the cookie cutter in the top line becomes visible. We adjust the spotlight's feather and size, then move it to the position of the left abutment. The lower timeline overrides the cookie cutter image, so by adjusting the intensity we can fade the spotlights in and out in time with the animation, thus pointing the viewers in the right direction. The exercise is repeated for the right-hand abutment. Now for the result. He was fated never to see the completion of his beloved bridge. Having built only the supporting piers, the trustees ran out of money and work stopped. It was not finished until after his death, when the Institute of Civil Engineers completed the iconic Clifton Suspension Bridge and dedicated it to his memory.